Hello, everyone, and we're back. So, welcome to the freestyle. And if you've been following me, we are in a series called Becoming, and we're talking about different aspects of things to become in your life in this season of your life or the seasons that are to come in your life. So, today we're going to talk about becoming a contender. So, I love my words. So, our friends at Merriam-Webster, they so I looked at the root word for contender, which means to contend. So when you contend, that means you're a competitor and that you are contending against someone. It's like you're vying for a position or a title, and you're striving against the difficulties to obtain that title or that space, whatever it is that you're in the competition for. And when I think about becoming a contender, I think about what are the attributes of a contender? What character traits and abilities should a contender have? So for me, I thought to myself, you got to be assertive, you got to make declarations, you got to stay in the right mindset to achieve what it is that you want to achieve as you're contending. Also, you got to remain positive. And there's a scripture in the Bible that says that oh gosh, it says, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. So when you're contending, you're not. It's not going to always be pretty. It's not going to always be that you're nice and you're meek and you're humble. You're going to have like this level of tenacity, this go get it type of mentality, and you're going to make sure you do everything in your capability to make that thing, whatever it is, happen for you. That's of importance to you. Also, a contender is one who demonstrates. So your life will be on display in a way to demonstrate to other people how to take that same tenacity. Some may take the same route as you did, or even if you had a pitfall and stumble, they'll learn from your trial and error and they'll create their own process. So as you're contending, you're also demonstrating. Um, you'll be able to keep going, you'll be able to carry on. And another thing that I liked when I was looking up the word contender, it talks about striving. So when you're striving, it's not that you hurry up and get to where it is you want to be. It's forward movement every single day to get to the goal, to get to the place where you want to be, whether it's mentally, spiritually, physically, in your health, financially, or in your relationships, whatever the goal is, or even in your career, in your workspace, whatever it is that you're striving to obtain. And I always say that I'm a firm believer and have been taught and subscribed to this thinking that what's rehearsed in your hearing dominates your thinking. So if you're thinking you're never going to make it, if you're thinking that this is too hard or it's requiring too much or you have to be on a certain time frame, then you're talking down to yourself. You're talking down on that thing that you're throwing your hat into the arena of life for, and you should rethink that whole process. Sometimes you got to have a talk with yourself because there are moments when I have this conversation with myself, and I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? Get your head in the game. Like, you know better, or you could have handled that better, or you could have said that better, or you should have researched a little more, or, just an afterthought, for the next time. So your thoughts are important. Your behaviors are important as well. The actions that you take are very important to move to the next level of what it is that you're contending for. So whatever places and spaces that you are contending, I also want you to be mindful of the atmosphere. Excuse me. I also want you to be mindful that you will have to fight. There will be wars, but there will be victories. Now, I wrote this down as a thought. I'm going to read it to you really quick. When I think of contending and I think of fights, those fights are conditional. They're temporary. They're not all the time. They're just like, things that just happen to happen, and it requires your attention or deters you in the moment, but it doesn't consume you. Wars, when it comes to contending, are a little bit longer. When I think of a war, I think of a time and space where things occur over time. It's not just instantaneously. And it may be, a long fight. I mean, a long struggle. It may be a long road to get to where it is that you're going, but you will never get there if you don't start that journey. So, in starting that journey, I would encourage people as you're contending, if you find yourself in a season of war, remember you are not where you started. You closer than you were when you first began the journey, and to just keep, pushing forward. Also, the last part that I wanted to talk about were the victories. There are victories that will occur. You cannot predict when they come. And every victory is not part of the showcase. You know how we have some things like when you go, I'll give you an example. When you go in the jewelry store and they put their very best out there to grasp your attention, and they put it all on display. So in your life, you'll have moments that you display your very best of whatever it is that you've accomplished. But then there will be those times when you have things that are not on the showcase, that are behind the counter, that only certain people can see or partake in the honor of that victory. And that's like, your little boundary, So again, in contending, there will be fights. Those are short-lived. So don't get caught up in that season. There will be war, which could be, a cold place at times, but there's something for you to learn and grasp from that to take with you for the next season of your victory. And don't forget, there will also be victories, and we all love victories, right? But I also find something fascinating about being the underdog in a situation. I also find something fascinating about the struggle in certain situations. And I also find things, the beauty in all of those things put together. You know what I'm saying? If you notice, I did not say, as I'm looking at my notes, I wanted to remind you, I did not say failures. I said fights, I said wars, I said victories. I don't believe in failures because I used to have a problem with that word. I feel like whatever happens in life, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to prosper in what I'm contending to do, or I'm going to learn and gain knowledge from what didn't work. So either way, I still won. Do that make sense to y'all? Okay. So as you become a contender for whatever it is you're vying for, keep your eyes on the prize. So I just wanted to recap. As a contender, you will be a competitor. You will strive. You will be assertive. You will make declarations. You will speak to yourself accordingly in a positive, forceful way, declaring what it is you want to go to happen in your life. You will be a demonstrator as you are a contender. Others will see what it is you're vying for, how you're fighting, how you're pursuing that thing. And that will give them strength. That will give them encouragement because, again, your witness is your lifestyle, as Marvin Sapp once said when he came to one of the churches I used to attend. And when people see you, they see your struggle, they see your victories, they see all of you, and they can find hope and strength in those things. Also, remember, as a contender, there will be fights, but those are temporary. There will be war, but it doesn't define you and it can't confine you, and there will definitely be victories. You will learn from the challenges because they're not failures. So again, keep your eyes on the prize as you're contending to make these things happen that you want to pursue in life. So as always, I want to encourage you to keep contending, keep fighting, keep pressing, keep walking in discipline and encouragement and faith, having your hope and your joy anchored in the thing that was promised to you. And as always, be the best version of yourself, the greatest version of yourself, should I say. Stay safe and God bless.